And what I mean by that is, you know, back to, and I'm not to bring it away from technology. I'm not to bring it back to technology, but like there's so many things that we as a people have helped build, whether it be music, entertainment, technology. But how many people? I mean, other than like the Tyler Perrys and you know, I commend him for what he's done, and the Jay-Z's, I commend him for what he's done. I think we just need more of that, man. We just need more of that. As it pertains to the, you know, George Floyd and the unfortunate incidences with Breonna Taylor, I don't foresee any of that ending until we get our own neighborhoods that we police ourselves, until we have people that step up from a responsibility standpoint to say, hey, you know, I think that's where it starts, the neighborhoods, man. Like that's really, really where it starts is the kind of community you build, the people in the neighborhoods. I remember, you know, my family's from Jamaica, so my grandmother would always tell me this one story, and she would say, she would leave school, and she used to, you know, she says she used to walk barefoot, Jamaica, from school back home. But if she got home too early, she'd get beat by the kids, and if she got home with the kids and they went home late, she'd get beat by the parents. So it was a lose-lose. And I say all that to say is meaning, you know, during her time in her era, she was raised by community. And I feel like nowadays, we've lost a lot of that. And like I said, we could probably speak on this for hours, but so I won't dive too deep into it. I feel like in order for us to kind of gain the respect we want, we gotta own our own stuff, man. We gotta own our own shit. We don't own car companies. We don't own, you know, shout to Kanye. I love his sneakers, but that's Adidas. You know, that's not, you know, that ain't, there's no ownership in nothing. Nobody could really traditionally say that they own anything outright without somebody sitting atop them. Very few.
Right. With that being said, I have to ask you about Jay-Z. It caught a lot of headlines a couple of weeks ago about him selling off Tidal and then selling off his liquor company. How do you feel about, you know, those two instances?
I feel like Jay-Z's done enough for the culture that I feel like I can't even question him. I wouldn't even dare, because I mean, who am I? You know, this is a man that's employed you know, hundreds of people and is also led by an example. Maybe certain things that some people feel aren't correct or correct in his world, that's probably for that man to decide. However, I'll take the positive things that he's done. The fact that he's actually taken money, putting it into a company and was able to flip it, to me is an amazing thing. And it just opens the door for more entrepreneurs. You know, would I make the same decisions? Like if I had a company that was worth a certain amount, I don't know. I don't know what that dollar factor is, but, you know, I think if he takes the money and then puts it into something else that builds up culture and Black culture, which he's very much so well capable of doing, and then I'm cool with everything that he's doing right now, personally.
Do you think? Yeah. Do you think that the new revolution is going to be just an economic revolution? Because it seems like, you know, that's what all empowerment now seems like it's coming from, is, you know, people getting companies and businesses, which is great. But do you think that's the only way, or could it be another way that, you know, we just start to begin to get, you know, the power that we deserve in the country?
Ooh, that's a good question, and that's very debatable. I always say money is power. So I mean, listen, that's a great start, right? I don't know if that's the solvent of all the problems. I mean, Steve Jobs died of cancer as a billionaire, I'm assuming. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that'll assume that they could take money to grace. So I wouldn't necessarily say it's always about economic, but I do think it's a great conversation starter, and it definitely helps to even the playing field. You know, one of the industries that I'm in now is actually blockchain and cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, and what they continuously say about cryptocurrency is it's and I guess I'm not even going to paraphrase, because I don't know how they say it exactly, but they basically say that's the way Black people will end up excelling in cryptocurrency. That's like the Black let me say the right way, but I want to say like that's like the Black way of excelling. If we can all get into it, it evens the playing field more or less. There's no bias in cryptocurrency right now, as long as you get into it and you understand what's going on. And that's not investment advice for anyone out there, but it just, like I said, it evens the playing field. That's what it was created for. So if enough of us could get involved in blockchain and crypto, then that may be something that actually helps push things forward as well.
Dope. Definitely appreciate that perspective, man. Get back to music real quick. What's your thoughts on the current state of hip hop, not just musically, but the culture of hip hop with the young kids? We see social media definitely taking heed or definitely taking charge when it comes to how they kind of distribute and get out here and give themselves attention. What's your thoughts on all that?
I guess I'm torn a little bit. So here's the thing, right? So, anytime we create, new wealth, as I'd like to call it, I'm happy for it. I'll clap and applaud. I think that, and I see this, there's definitely some smarter brothers out there that take their money and do wise things with it. I'm not for all the showcasing it on social media. That's never been my thing. I've never been one to, talk about how many chains I got on and put it up on the gram or like, I know a lot of people basically, I never want to throw money in people's face because I feel like that's not my perspective. So to each his own. I'm not knocking no one for doing it. And I feel like when you talk about some of the music nowadays, I feel like that's kind of all I end up seeing a lot of. But there are some people that I feel are pushing a different route. I mean, I traditionally still listen to old school music. That's just my preference. But every so often I might throw on the radio and I might hear something new and I'll rock to it and I'll vibe to it. I always ask people this, and I'll ask you guys this question as well. Like, from a memorable standpoint, like I can't really, if you ask me to name the hottest record of 2020, 2021, 2019, 2018, I can't do it. I couldn't tell you what the hottest record is. You tell me what's the hottest album in 94, in 95, 98, then I could kind of go back into my mental Rolodex. And I feel like maybe I don't know if that's a good thing, because that may mean that the music business is oversaturated, or the music industry is oversaturated, or if that's a bad thing, or if that's a bad thing because it's oversaturated, or if that's a good thing because there's so much wealth being generated amongst younger people. So I'm torn a little bit.
God damn.
What do you feel about the Grammys? A lot of people, Lil Wayne came out and said, fuck the Grammys, but you got other artists that say, the Grammys is not rigged, this, that, and the third. We should take on the Grammys and, their alleged...
All that shit is rigged, man.
Black people. Go ahead.
All that shit is rigged. Listen, every award show you see, in my opinion, is rigged. I mean, we see enough of it, and I'm not even like, I'm not trying to be like there's no conspiracy theorists behind it. I've sat at those award shows, and it's not because I've never taken home an award, because once again, you got to measure how you got your measurement of success is based on you individually, not necessarily what someone gives you as a trophy. It's great. Don't get me wrong. Like if people want to celebrate winning a Grammy, I'm all for it. If that's what you put in your mind, say, yo, I'm gonna go out here and get this Grammy, and that's what it is. But I know some people with Grammys that's still sleeping on the couch. You know what I'm saying? I know people that get these awards and they can't pay their light bill, but they glorify the award. And here's the other problem, right? We see it with the Grammys, with the Emmys, with the Oscars, is that we've been not included in so much of it that we had to fight to get inclusion. And I feel like they just be throwing bones now, like, oh, here, take this so you can shut up. And I think if we would show the same support to a BET award that we do a Grammy. If we're real, it would mean more to us to get acceptance from people who are actually building. And I'm hoping, and I say this like with the executives at BET. I think Deborah Lee is still there. I'm not sure, but the fact that these companies were created by Black people, I would assume that these awards should be more highly favored than the Grammys. And it's not to knock. I know some people who sit on the Grammy board and they vote, but it's to sit here and think that it's not a biased award, I'll be bullshitting myself. All of that stuff is fake, in my opinion.
You bring up fake. And I'm sure at the time, at the height of your career, you had many of friends, people along, everybody, everything's good. How many of those friends do you still have now? And how fake is the industry, in your opinion?
It's like this, man. It's like the size of a Cheerio. I mean, it started off, like a hula hoop. Now it's like the size of a Cheerio. But I mean, listen. One thing I always say, listen, man. I don't like I understand people who seize the opportunity. And this may sound redundant, but I can't stand the opportunist. Which is someone who basically just comes in when things are hot, like, oh, I want to get down, but they didn't put the legwork in. And what I realized in life is that yes, when you got a lot of money and you make a lot of moves, of course you're gonna attract what I call the wolves, and they come out. And then when the smoke clears and you start to really see what your circle is like. So now I keep my circle extremely small. So yes, I mean, and I'm sure I look at certain artists and I'm like, man, I see the entourage. I never had this issue because when I toured, I was usually with family. So like my brother was my DJ on the road most of the times. I had some good friends that would come out with me. So as far as the people I've kept around me all the time, they were always able to look, yo, watch out for homeboy. I don't really like, and if you got a good friend, they always tell you like, nah, watch out for so and so and so. I don't like how they move, and me, I'm even hesitate. Like as soon as somebody say that in my circle, okay, cool, it's over. Yeah.
Now, so are you totally done with music, or are you still kind of like dabbling in it?